Welcome everyone to Beyond the Adventure. Today's episode is Virginia Safari Park, and let's get started. Opening this episode up here, I want to show you guys the entrance sign to the Safari Park, and like I'm saying here, I've done something similar to this in the past where we went on a tractor ride with a wagon through a nature preserve, but I would never went on something where you would actually drive your own vehicle through the park. Now, Virginia Safari Park, you go in there, you get this cool pamphlet here with all the different animals that you will see that are wandering around. Now, this was located not too far away from the Natural Bridge, which is where I brought you guys a few weeks ago. If you want to check that video out, the link is up here or down below in the description. Anyways, we actually had to do a little backtracking for this. We were all the way in downtown Roanoke when we discovered that this was nearby, and I said there's no way that we could be down south without going through something like this. I thought this was an absolutely amazing experience. Now, the price for 2 adults to get through was $48.11, which compared to a lot of the other zoos and stuff like that up in this area, that is a great deal for the experience that you get to enjoy, the experience of the animals that you get to encounter. Now, these animals are absolutely adorable. Some of the llamas that they have there, just the facial expressions of the llamas, you'll see in a second here, there's actually going to be one that walks up to the vehicle. Just the whole stride of the llama walking up there was just absolutely hilarious. Now, they had feed buckets that you can get at the front entrance gate. I think they were like $3 or $5 a piece. And one thing I do regret is we should have gotten a couple more buckets to feed the animals. But anyways, right here, you'll see the SUV in front of us start pulling forward, and then this llama is going to start marching down the road. Now, if this doesn't put a smile on your face, I don't know what will, because this guy, he's absolutely hilarious looking. He's so fun looking. He looks like he loves life. He loves living in there and enjoying his time. There he is. He's starting to walk down towards the truck right now. Just look at the face on this llama. This is absolutely hilarious. Look at him. He knows there's food in the car. These animals have been so accustomed, so acclimated to vehicles driving through. This right here freaked me out. I was so afraid. I know the horns of most of those creatures are hollow, but for some reason I thought it was going to turn and bump into the glass or something on the car and shatter one of the windows or shatter one of the mirrors. Luckily, made it through there without a scratch. There were a couple of slobber marks on the windows and stuff like that. Look at that guy. He tucks his ears back before he eats just to make sure everything's okay, and he goes to town. So, the Virginia Safari Park, it's a 180-acre drive-through adventure. This is your guidebook that you get. So they have a couple of rules. You have to remain in your car. You can only feed from the buckets. Don't use your hands because you might lose a finger. When feeding, pull over to the right on flat areas to let others pass. No feed buckets are allowed through the walkthrough, which is the zoo area that they have after you go through here. Look at that cute llama right there. Now, you're going to see there's a emu, I believe it is, right here. The big bird to the left of the car. You're going to see it right there. Very, very funny clip coming up with that bird later on. Now, I have seen, like, this park, I've seen a couple of the other safari parks on America's Funniest Home Video, and you always see just about the same type of video where it's somebody feeding the animal and then it sneezes and they get snot all over them, or the animal coughs or hacks up all the food and they get that all over them. Or there's the other ones where they go to feed the birds, or I like to call them raptors because they're modern day raptors. They go to feed these birds and the birds just attack the bucket. Anyways, you will see that clip in a second. Right now, I'm just going to go through here. The Virginia Safari Park opened in the spring of 2000 because we felt that there was a need and desire for more people to be able to see wild animals in a much more natural environment than had previously been available. This is what I'm reading off of right here, just the pamphlet. At Virginia State Park, or at Virginia Safari Park, you'll be able to see animals run and frolic with abandon, or block your path, or lay out flat in the sun. The choice will be theirs. They are free to roam. Our staff is dedicated to helping our guests appreciate the beauty of our animals in the peaceful and natural setting of the Shenandoah Valley. Look at that moose up there. There was actually 2 moose. There's one on the right side. He was under the shade, and the female was on the left side under the shade. Now, I do have to apologize right here. The camera fell, and I didn't want to just continue the clip showing the camera going back, so I just tried to do a little cut to just show the trees and everything. But that was a simple explanation for that. There was a couple of times that the camera actually did fall, and we discovered probably the second day of our vacation down here that the new mount that I had gotten for my cell phone for the iPhone 7 Plus to go on the dashboard would not allow the camera to see a complete field of view. It was only like, I'd say, a good 45 or so degrees of a field of view without having any of the case or anything like that blocking it up. I don't know what those are, but they're very cool. Anyways, I'm going to read over a couple of the different animals that you will see when you go here. So they have ostriches from Africa. They can get up to 8 feet tall and they can weigh up to 300 pounds. They have emus from Australia, grow up to 5 to 6 feet tall, up to 150 pounds of weight. They have rheas, which are from South America. They have fallow deer, Japanese silka deer, axis deer, Paré David's deer, Rocky Mountain elk. They have the Dondori camel, the Bactrian camel. They have llamas, giraffes, bongos, black buck, scimitar horned oryx. I believe that's a O-R-Y-X is the way you pronounce it. They have Arabian oryx, which are the ones with the very, very long horns, or the long horns. I don't think you see any here. Right now, really quickly, just to pause reading from here, they have a zebra exhibit. Now, I've always heard stories and stuff how zebras are very vicious animals. There's a lot of animals from like, safaris and stuff like that that you think would be a lot tamer. Like, for instance, hippopotamuses. Hippopotamuses are extremely aggressive and violent creatures, and it's like getting hit with a couple tons of fun if they were to go after you. But I don't know why they had the zebras locked up. I believe I heard something years before about how zebras do tend to get very aggressive and territorial, so that could make sense as to why they were packed up. Look at those guys out there. I thought those were like cow horses or something at first. Don't they look like a weird cross between a cow and a horse? I don't know. Anyways, there's eland. Eland are from Africa. I think those were what those actually were right there. There's sable. There's the white bearded wildebeest from Africa. They also have the Nilgai or Nilgai from India. It's a type of like deer type creature. They also have bison from North America, which is what you saw a couple of seconds ago, or more like a minute ago in this clip. Coming up here, we're coming up on some more absolutely adorable llamas. This llama right here, this is my favorite guy. Look at him. Just look at his face. I'm pretty sure that's a she, just looking at the facial structure and everything. It looks like a female, doesn't it? And she looks like a very friendly and nice female. And I just figured she looked pretty hungry over there, so I gave her some food. Look at that face. She's so freaking cute. Okay, they also have swamp water buffalo, yak, Scotch Highland cattle, which were the very hairy. Okay, that's a bird. That's the bird I'm telling you about. I had to include that clip because we're sitting there the whole time and I kept telling Amanda, I'm not going to feed the birds. I see what happens with the birds. And there was a bird. And I said, you know what? There's like a quarter of the bucket of grain left. Let's open this up and see what happens. I got the window down. As you saw, I reached the bucket out and that thing just dived right into the bucket. That was enough bird feeding for one adventure. Anyways, they also have Watusi, Nyala, Vietnamese pot-bellied pigs, Quan Quan pigs, which are from New Zealand. I believe Quani Quani is the way you pronounce it. There's another bird right there. Amanda was very tempted to feed this bird, but no, we only stuck to feeding that one bird with this episode here. They also have Grant's zebra from West Africa and Zimbabwe. They have the southern white rhino here. So, like I said, when you get done, you can go through this thing called the Safari Village, and they have a bunch of other animals there that are on display that aren't on display in the main park. This is coming up on the entrance gate to the Safari Zone. And all these llamas are sitting here waiting to get some food before the people pull out. So we decided to give them the rest of the feed that was there in the bucket. Look at them. That is definitely an animal. If I had a decent amount of land, I think I would pick up a llama. I think llamas are very, very cool. Their face, their smile, they bring a smile to your face. I don't know how to describe it. They're just such happy looking animals. Granted, they spit and do things like that or like kick, but still they look like they're very, very happy, and they look like they're having a good time living there. They look like they're treated well and everything. Now you'll see The entrance and the exit, they have these grooves in the road. It's kind of like little trenches to prevent the animals' hooves from going in there and wandering out. So that is why the gate is open. Also, you'll see up there in the distance on the right, we had a massive thunderstorm moving in, so we were kind of rushing it a little bit towards the end of the safari adventure, the drive-through adventure, to try to make it up to here before it rained. Now, hold on one second. Look at that cute little tiny turtle. Little tiny baby turtle just sitting right there. I don't think it's a baby. It looks a little bigger. And a snake. Now, you guys know I don't like snakes, but I do appreciate their point in the food chain. And I also do like patterns on the snakes. I like the snake skin, the snake scales. I just don't like the creature that's carrying around the skin. Not really sure what that was. I think that was a black rat snake. It didn't look venomous just by the shape of its face. Anyways, look at that very, very colorful bird right there. Now, I thought that was like a peacock or like a miniaturized peacock or something like that at first, but I don't think it is. They had a couple different monkeys on display, and by a couple different monkeys on display, I mean they had 2 different displays of monkeys running around, frolicking, jumping, swinging on things. There's the peacock right there. This guy had free roam of the park. He was just walking around in between every single different exhibit. Here's some more monkeys right here. Look at that little guy swinging back and forth. That guy has to be a little baby, my guess is. Just by looking at the size of some of the other ones, they're not much bigger than he is, but at the same time, I feel like that is a juvenile. And look, they had a couple of penguins. Mr. Puffer's penguins. Look at these guys. Little tuxedos and all, marching over to check out the camera. I love penguins. I love animals. Absolutely love them. That right there was a smaller peacock. That wasn't the same one that had the massive tail that you just saw a second ago. And I was wrong. I said that I thought there was a lion up here, but no. That is a tiger. There's a snow tiger right there, or a Bengal tiger, I believe is the correct name. They have one of these birds that you would always see when you go into Petco and other types of pet stores. I forget, they're called like budgies or buggies or something like that. They had a whole cage with these birds, and they're just all flying around in there. There were a couple chickens in there and a couple other different birds. I think there was like cockatoos or something, cockatiels in there. The giraffes, absolutely awesome, though they were very, very timid. Now, I'm not sure, like I said, there was a storm going on. There was thunder going on in the background. So I'm not sure if the giraffes, if the thunder caused them to want to stay further away from the people. Anyways, when we're leaving, we saw this goat right here, and her little baby that she had just given birth to. There was actually still a piece of the umbilical cord hanging on. That's how recent she had given birth. Anyway, this is ending the episode out. That is also going to end this episode out. Thank you guys very much for watching. Like I said before, I would highly recommend checking out the Virginia Safari Park. It's located in Natural Bridge, Virginia. For the price that you pay, the experience that you get to experience, this is absolutely worth it. Once again, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and I will see everybody tomorrow for Thungry Thursday. Peace.